If you voice note a breakup, that is the worst way to end it with somebody.
I would text back and be like, you didn't even have the audacity to like come see me in person.
You know what? Let me pull up the DMs because I have them.
Oh, this is juicy. We're going to put them on blast here.
All I'm hearing is girl math, and if I was shopping in Canada, I'd be like, well, I'm actually saving $40, so I'm just going to buy a bunch more things.
I have to buy all these things that I don't actually need, but I'm buying.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Tell us all about that sweatshirt with those big letters on there, young lady.
Oh, this says Brecky.
That's that. I was like, is it a park one? Is it the bar?
Oh, I know. When I saw this, I was like, I thought maybe it was one of them, and then I saw it said Brecky on it, and I'm like, it's just the style these days, but I'm here for it. I love a sweatshirt with big varsity letters on it.
What is this? Is it breakfast or not Breckenridge, I assume?
No, it's
a brand?
It's a breakfast brand. They sent me I don't want to say like overnight oats, but kind of like overnight oatmeal. It came out in like a little yogurt container with different types of oats, but it was flavored to like apple cinnamon, dark chocolate, and the brand's called Brecky, but they also gave me this sweatshirt, and I was like, this sweatshirt is so adorable. I love this color.
I want to get that sweatshirt. I love it. I love the color, the two-tone.
Honestly, like, brands should just make very cute sweatshirts because that's what people wear these days, and then people are gonna be like, what's this brand? And then there you go, it's free advertising.
Brecky is a really cute name for a brand like that too.
Right?
Like an overnight oat situation. Yeah, very cute.
I didn't look, but I wonder if they're Australian, because in Australia they call breakfast Brecky, I believe.
I wonder if they are. Yeah, no, I think they do.
Like, would you like some Brecky?
Brecky. I would love some. Have you been to, what's the breakfast spot? There's like 2 locations and it's Australian and it's in New York.
Ruby's?
Oh my gosh. Banter. Have you been to Banter?
No, where is that?
There's one in Soho and there's one in, it's kind of like, I think, meat packing, but you should go. You would love it. It's all Australian food.
Okay, I'll have to check that out because there's a place called Sunny Boy in the East Village that's Australian, and they have the best food and espresso martinis. I haven't been there in years, but it was so good. And then Ruby's, which is also a little bit of a chain, their food is so good, and they're also Australian. Like, Australians just make really good food.
I would see Remy Bader talk about Ruby's before I moved to New York City, and I was like, I don't ever know what she's talking about. And then when I moved there, I stayed in a hotel right by a Ruby's, and I ate like every meal there, and that restaurant is undefeated. It is so good.
They opened up a new location, kind of. Well, actually, you know where it is. Where Fellini's Coffee is.
Oh, yes.
Like in that area.
Yes, 2 bangers. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yum. Your sweatshirt kind of matches your monster, and it's a whole party. You got a whole party going on, don't you? You got all the blue.
Back with matching my monster with my nails, I had to get new nails because the move completely destroyed my nails, you guys. Like, they were ripped to pieces, so I had to get them done a week earlier. But I have the blue Hawaiian monster, and actually there are parts of the monster that are the exact same color as my nails.
That is like the best thing on the planet. You're loving the blue Hawaiian. This is like the 3rd week in a row. And people are DMing you left, right, and center about it.
It honestly might be my new favorite flavor. I'm sorry, white Monster Ultra, but like this flavor, I just love that pineapple orange citrus taste. It's so good.
Okay, so like 3rd week in a row with the blue Hawaiian, and it's a front runner. Wow.
Also, the can is just beautiful. I'm just like in a blue. I'm not in a blue mood from like feeling blue. I just love the color blue right now.
Well, I think if the nails are blue, like that's how you know.
Right? It's just so fun. So yeah, I'm really loving the Ultra Blue Hawaiian. It's their newest flavor. It's everywhere now. I see it like in any store I go to. So if you guys haven't tried it yet, make sure to do it and keep DMing us if you do try it because we love seeing your DMs.
Yeah. It's the fave. It's the total fave. All right, so you're all moved in.
Yes. So I promise you my roses and thorns won't have anything to do with moving this week.
Whoa. Okay, what do they have to do with?
Okay, so should we do we should do thorns first, correct?
Yeah, I like that. Let's do it.
Okay, so quick question. I forgot. Have you started getting your period again?
Not yet. I do actually. It's funny. I'm like cramping today, so stay tuned. I'll let you know. But like, let's hope not, because apparently it hurts really bad. But no, I haven't.
Oh, really? Your first period postpartum is painful?
Apparently, you have to shed like your lining, and so yeah. Apparently, it's like you're like down bad.
Oh gosh, keep us posted because I'm so curious about if that is different than like your other periods pre-pregnancy.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll let you know.
What I want to talk about though regarding periods though is I really wish I would have allowed myself to be educated on this sooner, but I didn't realize how bad and toxic tampons are for us.
Remember when I told you I went to Paris and I ran out of tampons and I bought I can't remember if I told you this, but I bought the organic ones.
I don't remember. Tell me again.
So all these tampons were, and it was all I could find was, and it's over in Europe, so I'm sure they have no chemicals or anything in them. It's literally just like an absorption pad that goes up and it expands out. I could wear it for 30 minutes, and then I was like doubled over in like excruciating pain. I like ended up just wearing a pad, which was like very odd. And so I don't know what we put in our tampons here, but I know we put something different in them, but I do know it doesn't make me double over in pain, but it's very fascinating.
Wait, that is so interesting because when I went to Minnesota a few weeks ago, Madeline and I had our period at the same time, and for some reason I didn't pack enough tampons. So I was like, "Hey, can I borrow a tampon?" And she was like, "Yes, but I only have the cardboard ones." And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, I'm not using a cardboard tampon because just out of fear, not because of any other reason, because that scares me." And she was like, "Jordyn, you need to stop using the regular types of tampons. They're so toxic. They can actually cause worse period symptoms, longer periods. Like, there's so many chemicals in them." And when she told that to me, I was kind of like, blah, 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 whatever. But then I kept seeing these TikToks, I swear our phones hear us, about all these girls being like, as soon as I switched to like the cardboard tampons or the organic tampons or just pads, my periods were shorter, less painful, less heavy, like all of this stuff. And now I'm starting to think like, okay, I have like a 7-day period. If I didn't use tampons, like would my period be this bad and this long? Like I haven't switched over to organic yet, but it made me start to think about it because I got my period last night.
So I had always used cardboard. Like the first tampon my mom ever gave me was a cardboard tampon. So I always just used them. But I do know when you put the plastic, like little parts of it do like shed off, and that there are a lot more chemicals in those. Although they are more pleasant, they are worse for you. I have also heard this. It's so fascinating you're talking about it.
I know. So after I go through this box, because tampons are expensive, I am going to start using the organic ones to see if I notice a difference. Like if I notice like a lighter period, more pleasant period, because I'm just becoming a little bit more aware of what we're putting in our bodies. I haven't yet because it just came today. I switched to aluminum-free deodorant because I'm just becoming so aware of how the things we use on a regular basis can affect us long term.
Let's talk about the silk pillowcase that you guys need and that J-Dub and I are using, because my dermatologist told me years ago, switch to a silk pillowcase and you will only see benefits. I'm talking fine lines and wrinkles, and your hair. Your hair will be less frizzy when you wake up. It preserves everything. It is the best trick on the planet. So ditch your cotton pillowcases for Blissy Silk and see less fine lines and healthier hair in weeks. J-Dub, have you been using your pillowcase?
Yes, I use it every single night, and I noticed a big difference in my skin. I feel like I wake up and my skin is less red and dry, and I have been loving it.
Same. I have absolutely been loving it. I'm even using a silk pillowcase for Tate right now because her hair won't fall out as much. And so it's truly like the best thing on the planet. Plus, you guys, Blissy has over 70 colors, including, Jordyn will love this, a new Wicked and a Harry Potter line. So you guys, because you're a listener, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/meanpod. That's BLISSY.com/meanpod. pod and use code MEANCODE to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you. Microplastics are everywhere, and they're truly so toxic. Like when you put your laundry detergent pod in the laundry, it just exacerbates plastics, and your laundry just absorbs them, and then you wear it, and like there's little microplastics in it. So like for Tate's laundry, it's called Plastic Purge, but it eliminates and removes the plastics and toxins because her outfits aren't that big. But like, think about it. Your pod is wrapped in plastic.
Oh my God. I never even thought about that. What if we use the powder detergent? Is that better, do you think?
It's better, but most of the time the powder detergent comes in a plastic, like it's everywhere.
I know. We're starting to sound like Pete and Harrison that we were making fun of literally like months ago.
I know.
And
like, I have water in a plastic cup.
Same. The only thing that's good is this Monster.
Go Monster. Yeah, it's like so crazy though. It's I don't know about you. It sounds like this is happening to you though, but like once I heard it, I really like couldn't unhear it. And I was just like, ew.
Well, I have a question, and I don't know if you know this answer, but is your armpit a pit or a puff? Like if you touch your armpit, is it like a pit? Like does it go in or is it kind of puffy?
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know. I would say it's a pit.
Okay, see, that's good. So I never noticed that my armpit was a puff until very recently because I saw a TikTok and it was saying that everyone should have a pit. And if you have a puff, it means you're inflamed. And I know I have large lymph nodes in my armpits because I have talked to my doctor about it. Just because like in the past I would feel them and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? But I was starting to do research and it was like talking about how that's what prompted me to use aluminum-free deodorant because regular deodorant can put toxins in your body that cause inflammation. You could just be inflamed, this or that. Because I like noticed, I was like, my mom has a pit. Pete has a pit. Why do I have a puff? So I'm just like in this phase of where I'm very aware of what I'm putting in my body and how it's affecting me because I didn't realize it was not normal to have a puffy pit.
I had like never even heard of the pit versus puff. Who told you was that a deodorant campaign?
No, on TikTok, I got served a video and the girl was like, do you have a pit or a puff? And of course, once I watched that video, they just kept popping up. And then one of them was like, ways to get rid of inflammation in your armpit. Armpit is to use aluminum-free deodorant because other deodorants can cause like nasty chemicals to cause inflammation. And I don't know. I was just like, I never really realized I had a puff. So I'm wondering if this is a newer thing.
So I'll be curious to hear your experience with the aluminum free because one, the tampons I tried that were organic, and two, I think it's something free deodorant, but I would bleed through the tampons and I noticed it didn't remove, like I would still sweat through the deodorant I tried. And I know there's brands out there that do a good job, so I'm curious to hear which ones you use.
Yeah, Pete was like, make sure you're not going to hang out with anyone when you start using aluminum-free deodorant because you probably will smell. And I'm like, thankfully I work from home, but two, I am very aware that it does take a while for your body to get used to it. But I got the Salt and Stone one, and I heard Salt and Stone is like, I don't know if you've used their body washes and stuff that smells so good. So I was like, okay, I feel like hopefully they've kind of figured it out, but I'll let you know how it goes.
I do think it's gross that like the aluminum like makes it work. Like what?
Right?
What?
I also started to get a little bit of like a rash. Like I don't know if you've ever gotten irritation from deodorant. I'm starting to get that from this deodorant I've been using. So I'm just like, what? I don't know. I've just been very hyper aware. I sound like my dad.
I don't blame you. I mean, oof.
So yeah, long story short, that's my thorn. What's yours?
That's a good thorn. Okay, my thorn is your girl, Hailey Bieber. I'm sad about how Rhode is delivering their PR packages versus the people that actually spend money and purchase the real package. So I saw a video and it was this influencer and she got like the pretty red fuzzy PR box from them and like opened it up and it was all the products inside. And then somebody stitched it and was like, sorry, I'm not like a famous influencer, and like opened her box. And it was just like one lip gloss in there just like flying around with like a little card at the bottom. And then I was like, for some reason, on Road TikTok, and a lot of people were posting their packages, and they were like, I really hope that they fix their packaging that they give to consumers that actually spend money to buy the product, because there's like a large discrepancy in like influencer boxing versus like true consumer boxing. And I was like, that's a really good point. That's not fair.
Wait, that's very annoying because it's not that hard to put in. Like, I would understand if they were trying to be less wasteful, but it's like, okay, if you're going that route, make sure you're matching influencers and non-influencers, because it's not that hard to put like a thing in there to make it a little bit more presentable. Also, like, don't have your products just like going up and down in the box.
It was a pretty good sized box.
Yeah, they're
and
big.
And there was one lip gloss in it flying around, and then just like a card. Like, it was really underwhelming opening it. And I thought it was a good point. Like, if you're going to spend so much on influencer unboxing, you can get just as much views on somebody else unboxing it. So, really have the quality of your packaging.
Also, like, I would be much more likely to buy a product from someone who like genuinely bought a product and loved it versus an influencer I knew that got like paid to talk about it or get sent their PR all the time.
I completely agree. And I think that you would, even if they just tied a bow around it, it would be like, okay, this is a really cute way to get it. But you see these influencers opening it, so then you're influenced to buy, and you open yours and it's like, want.
Right? I actually am pretty upset with Rode. I have like beef with them. So,
I saw this TikTok. You've got beef with the Hales.
Yeah. So I think this was on Thanksgiving. I made a girl math video that went like very viral. It was about how I was talking about how, if since my parents brought me to the airport and I didn't buy coffee, I saved $74 so I actually can buy Haley's travel kit and get her products for free. Like, it was about Rode. And it went viral to the point where Rode reached out to me and they were like, can we use your video? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, this is great. It'll put me in their good graces because I love Haley's products. Like, I'm obsessed with their milk glaze. And, I thought that in my head, I was like, okay, maybe if we like build this relationship, they'll at least put me on their PR list. They then sent me, I can't remember if they sent me, you know what? Let me pull up the DMs because I have them.
Oh, this is juicy. But you're going to put them on blast here.
Yeah, because like for how much money they make, they are just like, I'm pretty pissed about them. So they said, hi, Jordyn, we love your video and would love to repost your TikTok and tag you with our permission. Plus, let us know if you need restock of any Rode goodies. So they actually asked me first. And I was like, oh my God, I love you guys so much. Feel free to post anywhere. Also, I would love, and I like listed a few products. And then they said, amazing, let us know your best shipping address. That was December 9th. Never received a package from them. I messaged them again because I moved. And I was like, just want to reach out and give you my new mattress, my new address, like looking forward to working together in 2025. Never responded. And I'm like, okay, I just gave you a free video that you usually charge influencers probably $10,000 to make, and you couldn't even send me a product after you told me you would. It'd be like, you know what I mean? It's not just like, I don't know. I have beef. I was like, you couldn't have just sent me some milk glaze.
Well, it's also the principle of it. No, okay, so not only like would typically they pay you to make that, but you organically made it and it got a ton of views. So at a minimum, they should have been like shipping address and sent you something. That's the minimum. They don't ask you what you want. They just say, we're going to add you to the list.
Yeah, and it would be one thing if they never asked if I wanted a restock in anything, but like they did, and then they just never sent anything, which I find kind of a slap in the face because I feel like they used me for my video, told me they were going to send me stuff with maybe like a little like crutch to like want me to give them their video, which I would have given to them, like even if they didn't ask, because like I said, I love them. But then they just like ghosted me, and I was like, okay, cool, guys.
Did they post the video?
Yeah. They posted the video on TikTok and Instagram, I think.
Okay, I'm going to request we clip this and tag them. I'm sorry, but we have to hold them accountable. That's not fair, Jordyn.
I thought so too, because it's like I didn't like DM them and be like, give me product. They like asked for my video and said that they would send me stuff and they just ghosted me, but then posted my video.
Yeah, no, that's not fair. I think it's good that you're saying this. They just gotta send you some product.
And I usually would never beef with a brand, but like, and I'll still be using their products. Let me get that straight. I love their products, but I have beef with them, and I feel like I'm on the right side here, so I will announce my beef to the world.
Yeah, you're a real life user and consumer, and clearly a loyalist because you're gonna keep using their product. Yeah. Like, come on, Rode, throw her a bone.
Yeah, I mean, like I've spent hundreds of dollars of my own money on their products, so it's not like I'm just like being like a.
You made a video.
Yeah, like an annoying like content creator about it. I'm like, no, I made a video because I love you guys. I've spent hundreds of dollars on your products. You reached out, used my video, asked if you could send me stuff, and just ghosted me, never sent me stuff. Like that's like bad business.
Yeah, and you just read the DMs. Okay, so that's exciting. Wow.
Yeah. I feel feisty.
We don't often have beef on this pod, but today we have a little.
I know. I usually don't have like beef where I feel like I'm fully on the right side. I'm like, I feel like I'm fully on the right side.
No, you are. Okay, so on a happier note, what's your rose?
My rose is, well, do you want to do your rose first? Because my rose is going to get us into the TV shows.
Yes, and I hope that your rose next week or the week after is that Rode sent you such a big box that it doesn't even fit in the frame of your phone.
Can you, if Rode sends me a huge box of stuff, I'll like do a giveaway because like I just want the milk glaze. I'll give it to you so you can use it.
Thank you. I honestly, you're the reason
Priscilla.
that I bought their lip stuff.
Yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I love my L'Oreal lip stuff that I just like. I'm loyal to this one thing.
I mean, let's be real. L'Oreal can do no wrong in my eyes. They are the best. I use all their products. I'm obsessed.
It's same. I'm thrilled.
But okay, yeah, your rose.
My rose is I have changed the app that I now send money on, and I wanted to ask you, between Venmo, Cash App, and Zelle, which one do you use?
Oh my God, Alex, you're going to kill me. I only use Venmo. Please don't tell me you stopped using Venmo.
I haven't stopped using it, but it's not my primary anymore. Okay, and which one do you think is the most used?
Well, I would feel like between people, Venmo, but I think businesses, it might be Zelle.
So Zelle has two times the amount of users. So Cash App and Venmo combined, Zelle still has more users. Everyone uses Zelle, and I had no idea. I thought it was like the underdog, but they're the only ones that don't charge you any money. Like, it's a direct transfer, and I didn't realize that. Like, Cash App and Venmo have to use a third party, take the money out, put the money back in, but Zelle connects like straight to the bank. So everyone uses Zelle, and everyone knew that, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I know Pete uses Zelle, but like, I genuinely could not tell you any of my friends that have ever used anything but Venmo.
Same. And the way that Venmo got us all was they made it like a fun social media moment with putting emojis and sending stuff and following friends. And we're all just like, yeah, Venmo's like the cool thing, but they're running a con on us, and Zelle's the real one.
Can you use Zelle similar to Venmo though, like how it's an app and you can send people money through an app?
No, it's just bank to bank. So the episode I was listening to explain this equated it to email. So like, you don't know if somebody's on Gmail, if they're on their phone, if they're like, you know what their address is, but you don't know the app that's hosting that they're emailing you on. And that's how Zelle is. It just integrates into all the banks. But Venmo, although we use Venmo as like a verb, right? Like, I'm going to Venmo you.
Yeah.
It's a secondary app, but Zelle's the one that like really integrates with all the banks. So it's like the one we should use. It's cheaper.
Would you say it's user friendly?
Super.
Really?
I just I Zelled somebody the other day. I just Zelled their phone number, put it in and Zelled it.
Oh, and then it just goes right into their bank account versus like a third party app that Venmo has.
Exactly. So like on my bank, at my bank, they have the Zelle component in there, but Venmo is like, takes your money out of the bank, they have the money, and then puts the money in their bank, whereas Zelle's bank to bank.
Wait, you're kind of persuading me to want to use Zelle. I didn't realize it was that easy.
I know. I listened to a new podcast on Zelle on this whole thing, and I was like, well, that makes sense.
Remember when PayPal was like the way of transferring money?
Yes.
I mean, it still is. I use PayPal more than Zelle or Cash App.
Same, but do you know what I was thinking? Like, we used to live in a time where, like, you had to have cash on you to pay somebody, like a babysitter. I Venmo or Zelle all the babysitters.
I literally yesterday went up to a little stand in New York wanting a coffee, and they're like, cash only. And I'm like, well, that's a thing still? What? Are you kidding?
We don't have cash. Oh my gosh. Also, this just reminded me. Canada, Venmo's not legal there. Neither, like, so we were at the Super Bowl party and we all had like $5 on a square, right? And they were all like, oh yeah, we brought cash. Like, we don't Venmo. And I was like, well, how do you transfer money?
How do they?
I don't think they had Zelle either, actually, now that I'm saying this. I don't think they had cash. They have Cash App. They have Cash App, which I don't have.
Why is it illegal to Venmo?
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Isn't that wild?
I feel like if I lived in Canada, life would be happier. It seems like a simpler place.
It truly is. And everyone is like so nice and just like chilling.
I've never been to Canada, which is wild. Like, I need to go. A flight to Toronto is like 2 hours from New York.
You should go to Toronto. I do think that, like, I would love to go too one day. I'm just not going anytime soon. I think you should go.
Yeah, Toronto would be kind of a hike for you guys, wouldn't it? Or I guess Vancouver's pretty far too, because it's kind of like, or no, is it closer?
No, you're right. It is like that. We just have randomly a direct flight to Toronto. So, like, it would be technically easier. I'm just not, I don't see it in my future now.
Which one is like is Vancouver more of like the London, European looking city? And Toronto's more New York?
So from what I understand, because I haven't been to Toronto, I think it's very New York, yes.
Okay.
But Vancouver, it's truly unlike anywhere you've ever been. Because it's on the water and it has the mountains and the ski towns right there, but also it's got a huge city. So it's like, I don't know what you would compare it to. Like, I know last week we said if Aspen and LA had a baby, which is like pretty good. I think you have to add in like Seattle, but it's hard to describe unless you go. It's truly beautiful. Looking for a weight loss solution that actually works? Weight Loss by Hers provides access to GLP-1 medication with personalized care to help you hit your goals. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections featuring the same active ingredients as Ozempic and Wegovy, or oral medication kits. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time you find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/mean. That's FORHERS.com/mean for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/mean. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased.
I'd like to go to Vancouver, I think, over Toronto. Pete goes to Toronto for work, and he's like, as someone who lives in New York, he's like, it's cool, but like, it's a city. And I've just heard Victoria. I've just heard Vancouver is so beautiful. And I really would like to go there.
Yeah, it truly is beautiful. I agree. I don't know. I want to go to Toronto just to go. Actually, I kind of want to go to Montreal. I think that would be cool.
They speak French, right?
Yeah. Well, in Vancouver, everything is like the airport is French on top and English below.
Can Harrison speak French?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the first...
He actually probably can understand it a bit, though. Like, he can read the signs, yeah.
Okay, but Vancouver is more English speaking.
Yes, but their prime minister has to speak English and French, and everything is translated into both languages. All of Canada.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm going to ask you a question. That might be a little dumb. And I was going to ask you if the prime minister is the prime minister of all of Canada or if it's based off a territory. I do know it's a territory.
There's no question too stupid. I tell you what, I had no idea. I was like, you guys speak French up here?
I do remember the prime minister. I don't know if it's the same one, but he was very attractive.
Oh my God. Yes, he resigned. Just resigned. Drawing a blank on his name. cannot believe I'm drawing a blank on it.
So they have a new one then.
Yeah, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau. Yeah,
Is that a
last-
celebrity's name too?
maybe Trudeau though. That's his name, right?
I'm gonna look it up. Justin.
Maybe not. It could not be.
Oh no, Prime Minister of Canada. Yes. Yep, that's him. 53 years old. Wow.
Wow, I am actually shocked. I thought he was like 45.
Same. So who's the new one?
I don't know. I think like they got into some fight with America and Trudeau like resigned, and then there was like something.
Yeah, I just said
That's just what I saw.
like who's the Prime Minister of Canada, but it looks like nothing's popping up. It just says Justin Trudeau resigned. So I'm assuming they're still trying to figure it out.
No, they don't have anyone yet. Okay, this is my last Canada fact for you. Okay, so we were shopping, and I like was in Zara. If I spent $100 in Zara, how much was it Canadian?
Okay, so you spent $100 in Zara, and you're asking me how much it would. So if it was $100 US, you're asking me how much it would be in Canada.
Yeah, but I did it wrong. If it was $100 Canadian, how much was it US dollars?
I bet it was like 60 something US.
Yeah, it was 67 US dollars.
I remember.
It was
It's crazy.
best thing ever.
I remember when I was younger, still to this day, because you know how all our price tags are like US and Canada. I used to always be like, wow, Canada's so much more expensive than the US.
Yeah, and they like hadn't like price adjusted some of the stuff. So like I went to Zara, for example, and I remember thinking like, I was like, is this stuff marked up higher? And they were like, no, we're not price adjusted. So it was like you were shopping with a little bit of a discount, which was nice. It was girl math, but it was nice.
Do they have designer stuff there?
Vancouver has Hermes, Prada, because they have a massive Asian influence there. So they have a huge Asian community, and Asians love to shop at the high end retail. So like they have, you name it, they have it. Louis Vuitton, Versace, Baccarat, Hermes. Like they just have this row of pristine stores.
So my question is, what does a price tag of a designer bag look like in Canada versus the US?
So I asked them because I wanted to go look. And I never went myself, but they said they're not price adjusted yet. So his mom was like, if there's a purse you want, you should buy it here. It will be cheaper. Not directly like the 67%, whatever is how strong their dollar is. But she said, I think she said it'd be like 20 to 30% cheaper. Or he told me that. Somebody told me that.
Interesting. Because I know like when you go to Europe, you want to buy the bags because they're a lot cheaper, or not like a lot, but they are cheaper. Interesting though with Canada too.
And did you know in Europe, if you buy the bag and you go to the airport and you have your receipt, they reimburse you the tax?
Yeah. My friends have done that before.
I've never done it. I've always wanted to do it. I think that's like really cool. It's worth it.
You get like your money back pretty much.
Yeah, basically. You get the tax back, which you might as well not pay if you don't have to.
All I'm hearing is girl math, and if I was shopping in Canada, I'd be like, well, I'm actually saving $40, so I'm just going to buy a bunch more things.
I have to buy all these things that I don't actually need, but I'm buying.
Oh, I love that. That's cool. No, I love learning about Canadian facts because for how close we are to them, it's very sad how little I know about Canada.
When I landed there, I thought that the dollar was their currency. I know that is so dumb of me. And then Harrison pulled out like his Canadian dollar, and like they're plastic, they're waterproof. It's like, it's really quite cool. They got a whole thing going on.
I remember that TikTok that you made. But hey, it's not a dumb question because I asked about if the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister of all of Canada.
Yeah, I don't know. I just assumed they were close enough. Like they probably using the dollar up there, but no, they got a whole thing.
Yeah, you never know.
Okay, what's your rose?
Okay, so my rose is that TV shows are popping out like left and right, and I'm in TV show heaven right now. Like there are so many good ones out and coming out in February.
So tell us like a top 3.
Yeah, so I thought we could do our recs earlier in the show and do like what TV shows we're watching and what we recommend, because I know a lot of people love the shows we recommend. We've gotten DMs of people, especially High Potential. Have you started that yet?
I've watched half of an episode and then I had to go feed a child, but yes.
Did you like it?
And I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's the one I want to. It's the number one next one on my list that I want to like start watching.
Okay, that I would say that's probably like the most feedback that I've seen is people really liked High Potential, and I was like, Oh, it's so good. So, my top 3 that I'm watching right now is season 3 of Yellow Jackets. Love. That just came out on Valentine's Day. Love is Blind because I don't like reality TV. And I know that sounds like very annoying and pick me, but like for some reason, I don't think my brain can wrap around fake storylines. Like I love fiction so much. But this season on Love is Blind, it's in Minneapolis.
I had no idea.
So like there's a few contestants that me and my friends know. It's wild.
No way.
Yeah. So one of the girls, I'm so sorry if anyone listening hasn't caught up to me. So maybe fast forward because I'm going to do a little spoiler. One of the girls, her sister, I went to college with a girl. She was in my sorority. Her sister is one of the contestants, but unfortunately she didn't make it far in the season. So she's like barely shown. Another guy my friend has like kissed before. Another guy one of my friends went on a date with before. I think one of the guys I like saw on Hinge in Minnesota before. It's like so wild because I'm like, these people like grew up. Like one girl was like, I grew up in Woodbury. I'm like, oh my God, Woodbury was a 45-minute drive for me. It's just wild.
Oh my God, that's so... why did I not know I guess I did know they traveled cities. That makes it so much more fun to watch. So how many episodes in are you?
So I am in, I think they announced or they launched the first 4, and that's like when they're in the pods, and then they have shown like who everyone picks, and then I think on Friday, so last Friday when this episode comes out, they'll release another 4, and it will be when they go on their like it's like a vacation post pods where the couples get to be together intimately and just be together for the first time, and then they move in together. So that'd be really cool because I'll get to like see places in Minneapolis, and then they meet the parents, and then we see if they walk down the altar together.
So is Love is Blind replacing The Bachelor, Bachelorette?
No, I don't think so, because this is season 8, I believe, of Love is Blind. And it's on Netflix only, and The Bachelor, Bachelorette obviously is on like ABC. So I don't think so. I think it's just like a dating show.
But I mean like in popularity. Like I feel like people were talking about The Bachelor, Bachelorette a ton back in the day. Now it feels like all Love is Blind is the thing. Like, do you think that they just took the concept and like made it better? Like moving in together is genius.
I mean, it is a very smart show in the sense like you date these people blindly. Like you literally, and you see people's true colors. Like people will see their person and be like, I'm not physically attracted to them. Like it's just like so raw and real, like the things that people say and how they treat each other. And like they'll be like, it really does go to show that love isn't always blind. Like you need that physical attraction. Ooh. So I think it's a little bit more raw and real and more crazy than The Bachelor, but I don't know. It's one of those reality shows that I actually kind of do enjoy because it's just wild. But it came out during COVID, and it just blew up. Like I think it was so much more popular than people thought it would be.
Yeah, it's like massive.
So that's my second show, and then my last show is of course White Lotus because the new season just came out.
And how do you like the new season?
So they're episodic, so they only release an episode every Sunday, which sucks. So I've only watched one episode. So it's hard to say. The first episode was a little slow. They also got rid of their iconic theme song, which is weird. I don't know why they would do that. But I'm excited to watch the next one. Like, it's one of my favorite shows, so I really hope that they redeem themselves the second episode.
Okay, I think that's a really good list of what you're watching.
What are you watching?
So, High Potential is what I'm watching, right? And then I have 2 that I want to watch, which is Lioness and Landman, which are made by Taylor Sheridan, who's the same guy that did Yellowstone. So, like, that Yellowstone is my Super Bowl. So those are also on my list to watch. And then I'm on Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds TikTok. Like, I'm so on it.
Okay, can we talk about how Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were at the SNL 50 show?
So what do you think about that?
I was like, that's ballsy. I was not expecting them to be there. Like, I was shocked. I was like, wait a second, is this AI? Like, I thought someone was playing a prank on me. But when I saw that Ryan had a part in the show where he stood up I don't know if you guys didn't see Amy Poehler and Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were asking the audience questions, and the audience were all very famous people. And the audience was asking them questions, and Ryan raised his hand, and Amy and Tina were like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds, how are you?" And he's like, "Why? What have you heard?" And Blake Lively's face was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I was shocked.
I was shocked too, and I have two thoughts on it, and I'm curious to hear yours.
Okay.
Well, did you see her giving the hug to Amy Schumer?
No, I didn't see that.
So there was just like it was when they were all walking in and they saw each other for the first time, and Amy like went over to give her a hug. I think it was Amy Schumer. And Blake just like looked like she was about to cry, like very much so, just like looked sad, I guess. I don't know. So that's just one school of thought. I didn't know if you saw that interaction. The second thing is like, one, if your wife really was sexually harassed, I don't think you make like a joke about it at the SNL thing. That's like my one school of thought. The other school of thought is like, this whole case is very press related. And so I thought that could have been a good move for the public. So like, I do see that strategy attempt. I just think that one thing that this case is teaching us is like, as big as they are trying to make it publicly, like the law's not really effing with the publicity side of things. So just juicy, ballsy. I'm glad they did it. It was a nice internet moment, but like, whoa.
Yeah, no, I so agree with that, where I was shocked that Ryan made that joke. And I don't know if you saw, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? He's very famous. Oh, it's going to piss me off. But if you saw the video, people will know. He's an older actor, but his face.
Kevin Costner.
Yes, your boy.
John Dutton. Yes.
Did you see his face when Ryan made the joke?
Yes.
He was not having it. And same with Anna. Oh, what's her name? The girl from The Queen's Gambit. Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh,
Anna Taylor?
I don't know her name. I didn't see her reaction.
She rolled her eyes when Ryan made the joke.
Did she?
Yeah. I think is it Anna Taylor-Joy? Is that what Julie said?
Anna, I think she said, yeah.
Yeah, she like rolled her eyes.
We don't know. She says Anna. If I'm famous and in that room, I'm also just like, you're giving everybody a bad rap. Like, it just is a bit annoying. Like, you filed this lawsuit. Like, she wasn't a producer. She was trying to act as a producer. Like, that's not how we do things. And I do see how you would roll your eyes.
Right? Also, I was just like shocked to see them together because I'm like, I thought you guys were getting divorced.
Oh, I think over his dead body.
You think?
I don't know why. I just do for some reason. Like, and they're so delusional. I saw they like made an amends to the lawsuit, but there was like still no evidence. It was all just like alleged. It's just like, what's happening?
I also love that like Scarlett was there. I bet Scarlett was just like, F you guys.
I loved the two exes. It was like, yeah, Scarlett, not even like, probably she's laughing all the way home, right?
Right.
Scarlett and Ryan. And then I forgot Kim and Pete Davidson dated. And I saw this thing and it was like, when your ex is on the red carpet. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God, they dated.
Oh, I forgot Kim was there, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Did you see he has no more tattoos?
Who?
Pete Davidson got rid of all his tattoos from like head to toe.
No.
Yeah, so he was like full body, like tattoos everywhere, and he went through he got all his tattoos removed like professionally, and he doesn't have, I don't think he has any tattoos anymore. He's on a billboard in Times Square, and he's like in underwear or pants, and yeah, he's tattooless.
Wow. How old is Pete? Do we know? Do you know?
He's like 35, I think. Let me look. He's 31.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I would have thought 35 was spot on as a guess, huh? So Kim was really dating a younger lad.
It says Pete Davidson, and this is the older. This is from, January 31st, 2025. People Magazine, Pete Davidson spent $200,000 on year-long tattoo removal. Is doing really well since getting sober in September. Exclusive. That's the video. So $200,000, and it took a year long. Or it took a year to remove the tattoos.
He's been sober since this past September or before that?
It says getting sober in September. It doesn't specify what year, but I would assume 2024.
Okay, good for him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It says in July of 2024, he checked himself in. So, yeah, September 2024.
Oh, wow. I'm really happy to hear that. I really want to see him like have a really successful career. I've always really liked him.
I love Pete. But yeah, I was just shocked when I saw him on when I saw his billboard. I was like, "Oh my god, like he literally has no more tattoos. That's wild."
That's crazy. Yeah, wow.
I know. So,
Remember when, I guess, yeah, I'll talk about this. Remember when we hit our however many reviews and I got my tattoo of my wedding ring?
oh my god, yeah, and I got my was it a butterfly?
Yeah, I think you got I can't remember what you got. The butterfly, yeah.
Yes.
So I went and got my ring finger appraised, and I've paid for my removal, and it's gonna hurt really bad. It was $1,200. It's really small, so
Yeah.
I actually see how he probably spent the $200,000. And they think it'll take 8 to 12 appointments, which like that's a lot. My tattoo is small, like it's small.
It's a circle, yeah.
And they think it'll take like 9 months.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I can't wait for that journey.
I believe the price because I saw a girl on TikTok getting a small tattoo removed, and she said it would be $3,000. But that many appointments for a literal line that goes around your finger is crazy.
It's crazy, but they said that each appointment is literally 3 minutes. So that's nice.
And you haven't gotten one yet, right?
No, I haven't done it yet. So I like went for the consult. You have to pay, and then you like book your first one, and it's like at the end of March or something. I'll keep you posted when I do it. But yeah, it's time to get that bad boy removed. So
Yeah, let
I'll keep
me
you posted
know.
as it goes.
Not just me. Let everyone know. I want to know the pain and if it gets. I'm so curious of like the healing process, like because I would like to get potentially a tattoo removed one day, but I'm terrified because it's on my ribs. So I'm so curious to like the healing process, like how painful it actually is, and if it gets less painful over time.
So he also said the closer it is to your heart, the less the less hard it is to get the ink out. So there's like less blood. So mine's on my hand, which you kind of can't get further. So he's like, that'll take a little longer because there's less blood flow to it. And so the more blood flow there is to it, the easier it is to remove the ink, which is like fascinating. Yeah. So, and then also he said, so it'll happen and they do a laser around it. They numb it. And then it's like 7 seconds of just like, he said it hurts really bad. And then it will feel like a slight little like burn for 3 to 4 days. And then it'll go to normal. But you have to space out the appointments 6 weeks because the recovery, like your skin has to repair.
I just like can't believe.
Not fun.
Okay,
Not fun.
keep us posted because I'm very, very invested in this.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know. I know. I like wasn't really going to talk about it, but then I was like, oh yeah, we know that we got this. We've talked about this tattoo. So this is a good place to talk about it and tell you.
And then maybe after 9 weeks, next thing you know, you have a diamond on your finger.
I figured I probably couldn't get one before I got the other.
Can you imagine? Like the last appointment, Harris was just on his knee.
It was good though. I like went the day before Valentine's Day, and then I was like, I didn't really even mean to get you this. I don't even like. I was like, but randomly, I did go sign up today.
Wait, that would have been kind of a cute. I don't know if you said you did this, but that'd be kind of a cute Valentine's Day present, like telling Harrison you were gonna start getting it removed.
I know, it really would have been. It just was like random timing that I was able to go, but it did line up.
Okay, should we get in today's topic?
Finally, yes. We really chatted there.
I'm so excited for today's topic. We're doing breakup etiquette.
Which just is so juicy when you think about it.
Yeah, so I feel like for the way we'll break this down is we'll tell our own stories, and then we're going to talk about our top breakup etiquette rules and then go over a few controversial breakup etiquette questions. And then we have some listener submissions about what their biggest breakup etiquette rule is and how their partner broke it with them, which they're really sad, but they're very, very interesting to listen to.
Okay, what's
Cut that.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Bleep that. Is that his name?
That's my reminder. I'm dead.
Oops.
Do you have a story when you or your partner broke a breakup etiquette rule?
Yeah, I thought about this, and there was this boy. I wouldn't say I was like dating him, but I would say we had gone. I think if you go out to dinner a couple times, you're probably dating him. And it was like early on, and it might have been the summer. No, I think it was my freshman year, and like he asked me to go on another date, and I very much just texted him back and was like, I don't think this is working out. Like, I do think we should just be friends. Like, it's college. And I just kind of like swept it under the rug. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought like that was messed up of me, because it wasn't like we had been on one date. It was like we had studied together. We had been on a couple of dates. Like, it was a little bit more than that. And, I was probably forever the girl that like broke it off via text message, which is like not the coolest thing I could have done. So I would say I broke it there. Yeah.
I feel like the breaking up over text message is probably, if I had to guess, one of the biggest breakup etiquette rules that people break.
And so now I'm going to ask you this. I think I'm jumping ahead, but do you think a voice memo is okay or not?
So I was thinking about that because I feel like when you break up, we used to have three options. It was like in person, phone call, text, but now you can throw a voice memo in there, and I think that might be worse than a text message.
I think it's worse too, because you can't text it, so you voice note it, which is going to disappear. And it's like, imagine you're reading the script and like they're listening to it and you break up with them. That is way worse than a text message.
And you can see the time and you're like, wow, you broke up with me in 15 seconds.
And it's like, she sent a voice memo. I don't even have it anymore. I can't show it to you. Like, that is so messed up.
And like, how do you respond? A voice memo back being like, I don't know what I would say.
I would text back and be like, you didn't even have the audacity to like come see me in person. Like, that sucks.
That does. So yeah, I would say voice noting. If you voice note a breakup, that is the worst way to end it with somebody.
No question. And then I think FaceTime is equally as bad, because if you're gonna call them, do them the favor of not having to hide their facial reactions. Like, that's so messed up.
Oh my God. I agree. I would take a phone call over FaceTime any day of the week. Oh my God. I can't even imagine.
Like, okay, so I'll say this. I can stomach a phone call if it's not, if it's been under 3 months, give or take, and you want to call and save everybody time, like, I can make a case for that. But if it's like a long-term relationship, I think it's got to be in person. It's going to suck. But I think you owe it that.
I agree. I think that's actually a really great mile marker. 3 months, if it's over that time frame, it needs to be in person. Other than that, I guess you can do a phone call, but never a text.
Never. Okay, actually, this is a little messed up. Can I say, I wouldn't mind getting a text, because I would just rather know and then be like, oh, it's all good. I'm glad you told me now. Like, the phone call, I got to like respond. I don't know. The text is kind of nice. You read it and I know that's messed up. I'm not for texting people. I don't think you should. But I do think if I was on the receiving end, like, oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, I think I think texting is fine if you've only gone on like a couple dates. And I have been on the receiving end, and I'm like, thank God, because this would be so awkward if we've only been on like 4 dates, and then like the 5th date we go on and he's like, I don't like you. I'd be like, couldn't you just save me the time and shot me a text?
But honestly, like, this could be an email type energy, But if you're like breaking someone's heart, that has to be in person, I think.
So I like actually can't believe I did this. So, because I was old. I was 23 or 24. I can't remember. No. Was I 25? I think it was 23. No, sorry. I think I was 24. I was dating this guy, and he was so nice. And I feel like we saw each other. We were dating for a significant amount of time. Like, I had met his parents. We were not boyfriend girlfriend though. We were just still in like we were exclusive, I think, but we weren't boyfriend girlfriend. And I don't know what it was, but I think I got to the point where after I met his parents, I just realized, I was like, we're moving too fast. Like, he's not my person. He was a lot older than me. I think he was like 30 or 31 at the time. So I knew he was looking for something more serious and I just wasn't. And I'm a very impulsive person. One day, I just immediately got that feeling where I was like, I don't want to be with him anymore. I don't want to be with him.
Oh,
I don't want to see him. I don't want to be with him. I don't want to talk to him. So I sent him a text ending it, which is so not like me. I would never do that now. But I was like, it was a very long text. I like showed my friends and they were like, wow, that's a really well written text. So I was like, okay, we're good. So I sent it to him. He, of course, called me out and he was like, that is so shitty for you to end things with me on a text. Can we please talk in person? And I did eventually go over there and we talked in person. And I will say, he like pretty much just had me come over to yell at me, which I was kind of like, why am I here? Just for you to yell at me and pretty much list off the reasons why I'm a shitty person for texting you. I think it was just like an ego thing at that point.
Yeah.
But he was like, you met my parents, this and that. And I was like, I know what I did was really shitty. I'm sorry, but like, I don't see this going forward. And I was like, I'm sorry I met your parents, but also meeting your parents helped me realize that we were moving too fast and I didn't see a future with you. And like, we had to go through these things for me to realize that. And yeah, long story short, he was the last person I ended things with via text message.
Oh my gosh. Honestly though, okay, here's the thing. If somebody ended it with me via text, I wouldn't invite them over because that is so awkward. Knowing they want to end it with you. And listen, if someone's going to do it via text message, like, that sucks, but you can't make them do it different.
Yeah, I truly think he just wanted his ego stroked and wanted to yell at me. Like, I think he just wanted to see me face to face and be like, you're a shitty person for doing that. I don't think he had any intention of wanting to like win me back or anything like that.
Yeah, it was just like for him, I guess. Okay, but you brought up a good point. Like, you guys were girlfriend, boyfriend. I think if it's not established yet, because I know I had said the 3-month mark, but if it's not established that you're boyfriend, girlfriend, do you think it's okay to do a text or a phone call?
So now that I think of it, every guy that I dated, I believe in Minnesota and a few in New York that we were not established was all via text.
Yep.
I was like thinking about it, but I'm like,
I think though, the only problem with it is they could screenshot it to their friends and be like, she ended it via text, but like, whatever.
But like the reason why these people never became my boyfriend was because we dated for under a couple months and it was fine. Like, anyone that was ever my boyfriend, like my boyfriend for 5 years, in person, of course. My boyfriends in high school, I've only had like 4 real boyfriends, all in person. But all the other guys, it was like 2-3 months max. We weren't even boyfriend, girlfriend. We were just seeing each other. We shot each other texts.
I think it's fine. I think it's just save everybody the time.
Yeah.
And let them digest it. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I think let's make that very clear. If you guys are just an item, I think a text is fine. Unless you guys are an item for like a year, which to me, I'm like, why are you guys still together? Why are you not boyfriend, girlfriend by this point?
Yeah, it's funny to think about what is right versus like what I would want. They are actually two very different things. Like, you do not need to come over.
Right? I know now. I'm like, all the guys that came before Pete were text message breakups.
It's honestly easier. It's about 5 minutes round trip as opposed to 2 hours.
But they were like 7 dates max. Like, what is that? Like 3?
No, I get it.
2
I
months.
think yeah, totally. Do you want to go through our rules or what we had written down?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go through our top breakup etiquette rules. We can just like list them off, and then we can discuss like the controversial breakup etiquette questions.
Love it.
We did the first one. Don't break up over text. We already cleared that up.
Yeah. Okay, and then never say it's me, not you.
That's a good one. I love that one. Never say we should stay friends. We've talked about this on the podcast. Like, you're not staying friends with your ex, so just save everyone the trouble.
Yeah, don't even say that. I think if you see them out, like, of course, go over and say hi, but like, we do not need to pretend like we're gonna like go get coffee.
Right. And then no follow-ups after, like, AKA no contact, cold turkey, which I know everyone has broken up with someone and then saw them like another time or two more times to continue the conversation. But it's like, once you break up, you're broken up. There's nothing more you need to say.
I totally agree. And I think if you linger it on, the only exception I see to that is like one person's not over it yet. So they're dragging it on. But most of the time, like that is just time poorly spent.
Yeah. Like when I broke up with my boyfriend of 5 years, we never spoke again after that day. And people were shocked by it. They were like, you guys never spoke again? I was like, no, there's nothing to talk about. Like, we ended it. Now we move on with our lives, or we just hold each other back.
Especially if it's the kind that you know this is like for the best, but it's hard. I think cutting it clean allows your brain to think about other things and you can get over it faster.
I agree. Okay, so now let's go into our controversial breakup etiquette questions.
Oof.
Okay, question for you. Do you delete your pics together on social media after a breakup? And if so, when?
Okay. So what I think is if you had a long relationship with somebody, you delete 90% of them and you can like leave one or two just to show like, yeah, you have had relationships. So I think that's like a very normal thing for like a 30-year-old to be like, yeah, I have had a girlfriend and like, yeah, we went to Cape Cod together. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But like, I don't think you need to keep all 20 of your photos. I think that's weird. What do you think?
I agree so much. Not to keep bringing him up, but he's like literally the only other boyfriend I had besides Pete. I regret this. After my boyfriend and I of the 5-year one broke up, I just like, it was like my first like big breakup, and I deleted all of our pictures like the next day, and I really regret that because it was a huge slap in his face. I was told by like a mutual friend, like, oh my God, we broke up and she's deleted me out of her life. And also too, it wasn't like a healthy coping mechanism. Like I should have waited a bit and then like slowly deleted. It was just too much all at once. So I regret doing that.
Yeah, I get why you did it, but I think now, you know, it's like you leave one or two and just like acknowledge the phase of life. But other than that, yeah, I think that you don't keep them all. I think that's weird.
Yeah, I completely agree. Next one is, do you unfollow, mute, or block each other on social media? And if so, when?
I think it depends how it ended. I think a mute is probably really healthy because you don't see them. And I think if you need to do that, do it. I think an unfollow is like a lot right out of the gates. Unless it ended really bad, unfollow away. Like own it and unfollow. Blocking if you're like super mad. Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. What do you think?
I once again completely agree. I feel like you just got to do it. You got to do what's best for you and protect your peace how you need to. Like if I broke up with someone, I don't think I would unfollow them right away. But if someone broke up with me, I would probably unfollow pretty quickly because I'm like, I don't want to see you happy living your best life without me. Like that's just too hard.
What I do think is not healthy is like posting for them to see, like with them in mind. That's where I think you have to draw the line and like totally delete them out of your head. And if you're inclined to do that, you might need to block them. It might be healthy for you. But if you're like, I'm going to post this cute selfie so they see after a breakup, it's like, no.
Yes. Like I've had to block people in the past for my own sanity because I would constantly like check in on them and like even though I didn't follow them anymore, I would like look at their stories all the time and their tagged pictures. And I was like, for my own mental health, I got to block them. So I stopped stalking them.
Yeah. And I think that knowing that's really good. And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And hopefully they know it's like not about them. That was actually to help you.
Exactly. Okay. So this next one I never thought of until we wrote it down, but I love it. It's, do you plan breakups around events or holidays?
So the reason I put this on here was like, if you know you have a wedding in June and it's in, let's say, Cabo, and like you have your flights booked, are you just like waiting it out until after that? Or are you just like stepping up to the plate and saying, sorry?
Oh God, that's a hard one with like, I could see if it was a wedding that was in the same city, but the fact that you have hotels and flights booked, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. What would you do?
I haven't either. I think like Europe's a more extreme example and like that really sucks. But I think it's a bad use of everyone's time and like dishonest if you just keep it for the trip and like you're miserable, you're not on your best. And so I do think you just go ahead and end it, and it sucks, but hopefully that what goes around comes around.
Yeah, with the guy I told my story about, I also broke up with him strategically because I think it was his cousin's wedding was coming up, and I didn't want it to be too close to the wedding. But that was a wedding that was in our city, so like no hotels were booked, nothing. Like nothing was, not too much money was being wasted. Obviously, I understand. Like I was a guest and they were planning on that, but I felt inappropriate to go to a wedding if I like didn't have feelings for him. I felt like it was just dishonest because I'd be meeting more of his family too.
I completely agree. I think it's the right thing to do. And like, even if your flight was like not refundable or something, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah. Who gets the mutual friends in a breakup?
So where this sucks is if it's your friend and you introduced your partner to their guy and they got along really, really, really well.
Yeah.
That's where I think it gets tough. Hopefully everybody can be adults about it, but I do think the first friendship is the lasting friendship. Whoever was friends first, that's where the loyalty goes. What do you think?
So with my boyfriend of 5 years, we had so many mixed friends because we went to college together, and it was essentially like all of the friends he introduced me to stayed with him, obviously, because they were his friends longer than me. All of the guys kind of went with him and the girls went with me, but there were a couple friends that were such good friends with both of us that like one of my good friends, she even was like she's like, I'm gonna still stay friends with him. I've known him for as long as you. He's been my best friend. Like, do you care? And I was like, honestly, I don't. Like, I don't want him to lose his best friends over this. Like, this was my decision to end things. I understood where I was understanding like where I stood, and I was like, I appreciate you being honest with me. Like, if you want to hang out with them, hang out with them. And she did. Like, I think they're still close. I feel like she like went to his wedding, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I was like, you do you. Like, I'm not gonna make you not be friends with them anymore.
Totally. And I think that that's a really good way to handle it. And I hope people aren't forced to like pick. But breakups suck. Like when your friends break up and things, and like it was kind of an intertwined friend group. Like that's really tough to navigate, and it can be awkward. And then it comes up like, oh, do you know their new girlfriend or something like that? I do hate that for people, but I do think a good rule is like first to the table stays.
I agree. Let's just do one more due to time. And the last one is breakup sex acceptable? Like after, how people like break up and then they hook up to, like, is one more hurrah?
I think it's acceptable. I think it's fine. I don't know. Never done it.
Same.
So I could see why you would, I guess. I have no feelings. I'm fine with that or not. What about you?
I'm usually, I mean, you do you, but I feel like out of every breakup if I'm like the breakup-er, I don't find them physically attracted anymore. And then if I'm being broken up with, I'm too distraught to even think about that. So that's just like never been a thing for me to do. I'm either like repulsed or like so upset I want to punch them in the face.
Totally agree. I think that's actually a really good point. So like no out of ego.
Yes,
just
literally.
No.
Okay, now let's get into our submissions. And the submissions will be the breakup etiquette rule that they think was broken and then a story behind it. So do you want me to read the first one because it's shorter?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first listener submission, the breakup etiquette rule that they say is being broken their number one breakup etiquette rule is plan your breakup around specific life events, which is what we talked about. And her story is, even though there's never a good time to break up, there's always a better time than others. And you should be a decent human when choosing what time. My ex of over 2 years waited until I left for a week-long internship with an NHL team to completely ghost me and cheat on me with the girl he told me never to worry about. This left me a mess the entire internship, causing me to blow my shot at a job with them. Then he actually broke up with me the night I got back, which also happened to be the night I started a new job. So yeah, there's never a good time, but staying for just 2 extra weeks after 2 years to avoid screwing up my future at a time would have been lit. Yeah, that's extremely shitty. This is where I think you should plan your breakups around. And I think he could have easily waited 2 more weeks to end things with her.
I totally think so too. It's just if I was her, I would have made sure to kill that internship. But I do agree, because out of just like, I do think like if you take that anger and like, it can't be destroyed, but it can be reconfigured. But that's so much easier said than done. And I completely agree. That was so messed up of him. And I feel really bad for her. And I totally agree with her.
Yeah, because like he knew what he was doing, and he knew that she would be distraught during this internship. So it was very selfish of him.
Yeah, he took the easier route. He took the less confrontational and easier route. It's lousy. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not very good at this one, but never text a breakup. Always in person, or at the very least over a phone call. Last year, I shared with you all how my boyfriend's sister-in-law got upset over an Instagram post of us, claiming I was forcing the relationship and that he was unhappy. I remember this.
I do
He
too.
promised to talk to her when he returned from his trip. Before their meeting, I told him I trusted him and he assured me he'd confront her about crossing a line and tell her to address him directly instead of texting me. After a 5-hour meeting with her, all he texted me was that he felt unwell and would see me in the morning. The next morning, he told me she had concerns, but that he disagreed with her, in quotes, solution of us breaking up. He kissed me goodbye, and we discussed it more over fajitas for dinner, and he left for work. 4 hours later, he sent me a text saying he was done, claiming I had convinced him to stay in the relationship even though he didn't want to. He then blocked my calls and texts, leaving me shattered. The next day, his sister-in-law texted me saying she was glad it was over and that I'd eventually thank her for convincing him to break up with me. Wow.
That's wild. Like,
you know what? If that doesn't give you peace with the way it was handled, then I don't know what will.
also, you dodged a bullet. That having a sister like that, or having a soon-to-be sister-in-law like that, no thank you. Or her
And they're doing it all over
sister-in-law.
text.
Yeah. But also,
They're in cahoots. She's going to have a hard time with like, you really dodged a bullet. Like, you're going to find somebody that has a nicer sister, etc. And like, that is a bunch of BS.
Yeah. I feel for her in the fact that they dated for a long time and it was a text, but yeah. Ew. Run from that family.
I feel really sorry for her, because I know that like that was traumatic and it's obviously been causing problems the whole time, but like the true colors shined, and luckily they shine now and not later.
Exactly. Okay. And that was our breakup etiquette topic.
There we go. And we've already done our rec. So we're like, we did it.
We're good to go. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. Please keep DMing us your guys' listener questions, Am I the Asshole, other topics you want us to listen to. Thank you so much to everyone who completed the survey in last week's episode description. We've been getting a lot of great feedback, and we love you guys so much.
Yeah, we love you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at @MeanGirlPod. Podcast plus social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.